replace the sounds of machine gun. That was more unusual and regular. I was in my safe room with my girlfriend, Sharafa, and we started to understood that something really regular happened. And we want to check in the internet, in the news, what happened, to call the commander of the emergency team. Is responsible about all the security things in the kibbutz, and we don't have signal. So we get to stay to understand what happened. But then buckets fall 20 meters in front of our home and broke the door. And we understood we can't stay in this situation when the house is open for everyone. And we get a decision to go up to my parents' home, live in the kibbutz. And when we close to my parents' home, the sound of the machine gun get louder. And I look to the fence. My parents live very close to the fence. And I saw Chaim, one of the members of the Kitat Kolenu, one member of the Kitat Kolenu, crawl back the fence. And I saw he get in a she's full of blood. And I tell Shachar, go inside. And whenever you can, take the car and go outside from the kibbutz. And I went to Chaim. A lot of people also come from the kibbutz to help everyone. I take from Chaim his protective gear and his weapon and go to the fence to keep fighting. Just after that, I what happened this morning. So what happened this morning is that we can't see very good, but the 10 boats of 10 motorboats and a lot of divers of Hamas force trying to cross the border to Israel. Of חיל הים, Navy force recognize the boat and the diver and call our commander, the emergency team, and tell him in the radio, and tell him send your people to the because something happened. He sent the people, but this time, in that time, the boats, the IDF, many fight with the 10 boats of Hamas, and ceased to explode 8 of them and killed almost of the divers, but two boats ceased to land on the beach, and they destroyed everything they see on the beach. As you can see, the damage from the bathroom and on the beach. And you know, it's Saturday morning. A lot of people going to the beach to camp, to fishing. And in this morning, Hamas murdered 25 people on the Zikim beach that tried to hide from them in the bomb shelters. And this is the bomb shelter that they tried to hide in, and this is the three of the people that in this morning on the beach, the teenagers that learn in the school I work, Tal Ker and Hortasa and Nadav Taib, they were 17 when they died. And just minutes before they gather, they film the situation from the bathroom. 5 soldiers of one brigade came in this morning to try to help people. They don't succeed. They also been killed on the fight on the King Beach. And I want to show you the moment the first boat landed King Beach and the short the video of what the teenagers feel.
תיעוד שהמחבלים שחדרו לכאן בבוקר 7 באוקטובר ומיד החלו לטבוח בלי הבחנה בכל מי שראו. אלה סרטונים ששלח שחף לחבריו בעיצומו של הקרב. שחף הבין שם.
Can understand a bit from the fight that those children need to deal with this morning. After Hamas squad made everyone destroy everything on the beach, they took the military Savannah soldier of Golani and tried to come to Zikim. They do them word from Zim Beach to Kibbutz Zikim. Here. You can see on this picture three of the members of the Kitat Korenut in 6:30, and I think it's really show up how much no one really understood what's happening. No one can imagine how much this situation is big, what really happened all over the country and all over the envelope. Another video I want to show you, it's video that one of the family that live really close to the take in this morning. They just outside and feel battle the fight on the beach. Okay? And no one is understand what happened and what going to be happen. Laughing, look at each other. Instead, the military parking on the fence, and Kobe, one of the members of that group, who already is standing in his position. Everyone knows where is their position on the fence, and it seemed okay. Military Savannah van, a lot of soldier with black uniform. It seemed to serve the special unit from IDF, and one of them go outside without the rockets and shooting to his car, Kobe cars. But cars of Kobe was a little bit far from him because he needed to go to his position, and they didn't recognize him. And he started to fighting. He stand on his position, and he success to kill 3 terrorists that tried to cross the border in territory. And the others that didn't recognize Kobe and didn't understand from where they got this fire, go other way to the other side of the road, and keep fighting. It was a long fighting with them, more than what we prepared for before, more than what we trained for. Where we didn't have a lot of ammunition. They have a lot of ammunition in this situation. They came with a lot of grenades, a lot of hand rockets, with a lot of battles, bullets, and we were waiting for 1 hour, another hour, and Chaim get there from take himself back, like I said, and then I came back, I come to the fight, and then Danny get hurt from a bullet that hit him in the hand. In 5 hours, no one come. Our own ammunition almost. So we get there. The most difficult it's to understand in front of you, something like 50 meters, you have 15 terrorists, and 100 behind you, is hiding in the safe room. I don't understood why we don't cut the going to kill them. I don't understood that. But all fathers that fighting with me, people that have little kids, they don't want to do that. They don't want to cut the fence. Because what if they kill? Who save the children? So 5 hours of fight, we get the decision to go outside of the kibbutz, groups of fighters, and go around the terrorists because we know the place area of the kibbutz, and in some common attack from the kibbutz and outside the kibbutz, we success to kill them when they were 15, like I said, and we were 10. And we still waiting for them. Just around 8 the signal and the internet came back, and we start to understand the big picture and what happened in Israel in this day, and what happened in Be'eri, in Kfar Aza. Actually, Oz, one of the members in Zikim, his mother, in Kfar Aza, and he didn't until this moment. So we start to understand, and actually, the most important thing we understood in the moment, it's the urgent need to evacuate, to start to evacuated out of the goods. And I'm talking with you about 900 people, 200 families. So people to evacuated. Out to take group car, all entire from Zikim until the city Ashkelon, all the way full of dead bodies and terrorists. Really not nice situation to be. What about the children that we don't want them to see horrible people. You know, this is the same day, drove all day to their school. Someday we need to take them back to the kibbutz. And in the end, we success to evacuate all the population and families get hurt. But I want to tell you that this story, it's not a story about bravery. And I know this is the last time I'm going to tell my story. But I want to say that in 1 month we will celebrate the Independence Day in Israel. And must remember, this is what in October 7, it's disaster. It's horrible thing. It's story about faith, not about bravery. We had a lot of story of bravery and a lot of brave people, and we have the incredible people in Israel. I know them. And know them have a lot of luck in our story. Not all the story finished like that. The situation in Zikim now, it's half of the population is still evacuated, and then half already came back to Zikim. Most of the people that already come, adult family without little kids, they supposed to come in July. And I really hope all the people want and be and feel they able to do this way. To our community was before the war, a lot of work to do. And I was finished to tell my story, and I know everyone is from respect, and I know you full of love and care, but and I know everyone when I finish going to claps and things like that. So I want to meet with you for last time in Canada telling my story. Remember what I said about the October 7th. And we must remember the October 7th shows the beautiful face of the Israeli people, but also it shows how much the life in Israel to be changed somehow. I don't know yet. And story about a disaster, not just about bravery. So when I finish, I want everyone of us to think about one of the hostages or about one victim that can't be with us today and tell them story. And the clubs will be them. And after a lot come to tell her story. So thank you very much about about the opportunity to be here today. It's really not obvious to me, and I'm Israel Chai. Thank you.
Hear me? Okay. So nice to meet you. Good to be here. Really, thanks for having us. Very excited. Very emotional this week. It was the last time. I'm Elat, from Elat, originally in Israel, the sub city in Israel. In my 20s, I moved to Tel Aviv, so I lived in Tel Aviv the last 14 years. I'm 24 years old. There, my start, I've been in the Nova Festival on October 7th, and ever since October 8th, I came back to reserve. I discharged from the Army 2 years ago as a major in the Air Force, and I'll tell you about that a little bit. And my story began before October 7th, when I got to the Nova Festival. I'm part of the dance about his community. I'm part of the music festival community. Going to music festival, I understand that at the age of 25. And in our community, we celebrate life through dance, music, no matter what our jobs are, or political differences. We are camping together, dance together, going to music festival together, and we're really excited. We bought a ticket festival 3 months before, just when the tickets went. It was the biggest fans of the Nova production, 1,000 people, and me was really get ready to. I bought a new outfit. I did my nails with the son of the Nova. The woman here can understand. And we were really excited about the kids that's going to be there. And then I drove the Nova Festival with two of my friends, Nova and Nori. And we decided to come early morning, 6 a.m. because it was after holiday dinner, really heavy. So we needed a good night's sleep, and then we decided to come early in the morning. While we drove to the festival, we drove in the dark. So I saw lights in the distance, and then Chen said to me that it's the light of Gaza. And I'm from the area of Gaza, from Elat, Aviv, but I wasn't afraid of that. I lived near borders all my life. I saw Jordan, Egypt all my life, Saudi Arabia. I know that we are close to borders. This is how we live in Israel, and I really wasn't afraid that the party is so close to Gaza. We arrived to the party at 6 a.m. 6:25, we arrived to the dance area, bought our first beer, getting ready to dance, and the 6:30 music stopped. This is our picture from the media of the festival. Really 10 minutes before. Um, Everyone said that it was the best party ever. I don't have a picture of me dancing because I just arrived to the party. At 6:30, the music stopped. Why music started in festival? What do you think is that it's a problem? So everyone applauding to the DJ, encouraging him, keep the party going, everything is okay. But then the DJ gets on the microphone and he told us Tseva Adom, which means the red alert, the sirens, and then we realized hearing the sirens, seeing the rockets above our head, like it done set up a lot of rockets. It stopped for a minute. Me and my friends already been with our luggage, we just arrived, so immediately the police start evacuate everyone from the party. It were 4,000 people, total chaos. So we went to 6:45 on the road. This is where the Nova Festival were, when it says festival. And 6:45, we already been on the road, running away from the Nova Festival. It's important that the other two dogs is still more party that was there in that area. The Psyduck and the Mirror, 400 more people. They lost 21 of their friends. It really was the best area for parties, forest, nature, and so we've been 6:45. Then I get a message from a unit on the WhatsApp group to get ready, coming to the army because war it's in Israel. So I told my friend that we need to drive as fast as we can because I need to go to Tel Aviv, to the headquarters. In that moment, we realized that we drove as fast as we can, but we realized that we can't continue on the road. Rockets were too much, too dangerous to continue on the road. Something like 2 hours of drive, or one drive home. So we stopped. It was 7 a.m. and we stopped on a bomb shelter. This is a picture of us from that bomb shelter. It was 7 a.m. Idan talks about his room. In Israel, it's complicated. You have a safe room in your house from the 80s. We have safe room almost everywhere. And in the Gaza envelope, we have bomb shelters all over the world because you can be on the roads when there are rockets all the time. This is the last 20 years. So on the road were bomb shelters, like the picture on the left. These shelters were dead trapped on that day. Me and my friends stopped on the shelters on 7 a.m. And in that moment, as you can see, we are happy, smiling, feeling safe because we are near a bomb shelter. And I sent to my friend, family, everything. Okay. I'm in the bomb shelter. I'm telling you, when the rockets stopped, we are continuing to tell you. This was 7 a.m. in the morning. 30 seconds after we took this picture, we start hearing the gunshots all over our bomb shelter, all over the area, and we understood that it's a terror attack, and not only rockets. And really, bomb shelters, people that stay inside or try to hide inside. The terrorists kill them and threw grenade inside. We were lucky because the bomb shelter were too crowded to enter inside. This is why we took the picture outside. We lucky because we could hear the guns. So we entered our car and we drove to the north. And while we were driving, really 1 minute after, we realized that there are cars that are turning around with bullet holes, flat tires, injured people inside the cars. And then we realized that there are terrorists in front of us that kill everyone that are in front of us. So we were lucky twice because if we haven't stopped from the bomb shelter, we could hide in front of her while we are going to the north. So we immediately understood the turnaround. We turned back to the south because we knew that we can go to the south and to the main road, and then we arrived back in the area of the North Festival. That picture from October 8. This is the road that everyone went out from the festival, and they could go right or left, north or south. And we arrived there was 17, something like that. We started even shooting all the area. From the south, we knew that there are terrorists in the north, and we've been on a traffic jam, something like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Really big traffic jam, total chaos, and cars that trying to get out, but you have nowhere to go. I remember someone asked me, why not continue? So I think the police will just eliminate the terrorists in front of us, and we will continue to the south. I wasn't really realized what's going on because I couldn't imagine to the front really happened that day. After 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the we are in this traffic. For me, happened the most frightening moment that day. The soldiers and the policemen, they're trying to eliminate the terrorists in front of us. They turned around, ran to us, and told us, leave the car and run through the fields. When we told you to do so, you did it immediately. But I think this is one moment that I really remember from that day. Much scared. Much I scared that moment to see that. So we left our car, ran through the fields. This is a picture from the field. Wide fields, tons of people. Our car in huge traffic, total chaos, and ran east to the field. My personal story that after 100 meters on the field, I stopped. I froze. Fight, flee, freeze. I that moment. Don't my friends saved me in that moment. Chen came back. He shake me and he told me to keep running. And in that moment, I just kept running. Friends, and they understand what's going on in the fields. After 6 hours, something like that, we understood that we need to decide what to do. So we decided to try to stop car and going through the field by car. First car, I tried to car, but when I tried, she didn't stop. She drove fast on the field. I can tell you that now I know that I wasn't really determined to stop the car because I wasn't really understand what's going on. The second car were 5 people inside. So it was full car. I didn't stop her. And then I feels. And there was total chaos. Um, everything, all this time, gunshots, rockets, people that running. I remember that what I saw in that moment was a jeep, like four-wheeled car, very big, that people ended out the jeep and try to get away. And people trying into cars. And then I understood that the car need to stop the car. So the car stopped. There were 4 people inside the car. We entered 3 more people, 7 people in a small car, didn't know each other, and we continued to east. In that we start navigate through the and like Dan told you, there were no signal that. I think it's also 1,000 people that try to use WhatsApp, Google Maps, everything collapsed at that moment. So what we did was that we this is what we did on the field, and we took the friends of us in Ofakim. In that moment, friends were in their safe room while terror attacked the city. But they had internet, so we told them what we were seeing in the fields, and they told us, and they navigate us through the fields. We really acted like operation room. We open emergency apps, we open news. We tried ways, really talking with friends outside the war zone. Still really going on. And that is why we are navigating through the field. We understand that in Bet Kama we have a police blockade, and we need to arrive there. So we arrived in we passed the first blockade. And after 2 hours of fleeing, we knew we were out of the war zone. Try to imagine what the first thing you do when you get your life back out of a war zone. The first thing we did was to ask for each other's names. We didn't have time to do that before. This is how this the car was. This 1 hour fleeing, and then we asked Itamar if he can get the seat forward because we're squeezed behind. After that, we arrived to Itamar's home, who familiar with Israel. He drove until Afula. It's something like 3 hours drive. Itamar, he wasn't being able to stop on the way. He wanted to get to his home. We didn't know what happened in Israel at that moment. We just drove until we arrived to a safe place. And then Itamar wanted to get to his home, so we drove with him. So on 10 a.m. we were in Itamar's home, and then I got called from my unit army, and they are not called to ask me if forgot to on you remember I sent to my family a message on 7 a.m. Everything is okay and I'm in bomb shelter. Apparently, because there are no signal, they didn't get any of my message on the way. They didn't see my location. We shared the location with my family until and my brother knew that 7 a.m. I read. He already knew what's going on in Berry by the news, and until 8:20, he didn't know anything about my position. And for him, it was the our day. Yeah. So I called from a unit on 10. not to ask me if I'm ready, just to call me back. I serve as a major in the Air Force. My base training is air traffic control, and now I'm at the headquarters of the Force. My unit is for the function of the ITs and Ts and networks, all the ITs and networks of the Air Force. That we've been able to accomplish our goals, and that the soldiers will be safe all the time. Let me back to see. Yeah. So I talked with the soldiers of mine like 2 weeks ago, and they told me about their feelings of October 7th. And one of them told me that they arrived to the unit. They asked, where is the lot? Because they knew that Tel Aviv, the headquarters is in Tel Aviv, and I'm the first one to come every time. Ever since discharge, I do something like reserve space, and here really like my unit, and when they called me, it was the first call that I answered that day. After that, it was my mom, but I really thought that they need. I told the army that I just had some time to regroup, and then arrived as soon as I can. I really arrived at Sunday morning, 7 a.m., October 8th. Morning shocked when talked about coming back so fast to the army after we've been through what we did through October 7th. But it's not really a question because now we have our defense, we have our unit, we're under, so it's not really a question, it's our position war. So I arrived to the unit, and we had a lot of work to do. I kept myself busy all these first 2 weeks. Also, I don't have a safe room in my house in Tel Aviv, so I jumped between houses of friends. It was really crazy that they rockets all over Israel all the time. And 2 weeks after, I talked to a friend of mine, and they told I've been on the Nova Festival. And she told me, yes, you were there, but you left early. And apparently that all my friends thought that I left on 5 a.m. in the morning. Because I didn't really about being there. Because what happened to me that after I was on the fields, I didn't move back. I didn't terrorist or the bodies. And after 2 hours, I was on a safe place. People injured, kidnapped, murdered that day, lost their family, lost their friends, and I felt that I right to talk about being there. But as I was there. I ran in the field, ran away in the car that wasn't mine. And when I talked to her, I realized that there is a trauma that I need to deal with. That I need to talk about being there on this Saturday. What I'm telling you today, all the details about story, it took me for 1 month. Every day I get more details about them. Almost 1 month to connect all the dots. And I connect the dots with my community. It's important to say that the Nova community lost 300 of their friends, 35 kidnapped to Gaza. It will really try what we find most help to us is to together and talks and connect us together. So I started talking with other survivors, with my therapy, with the people that been with in the car, and I'm able being with you today and tell you my story. Unless I don't really know what I feel the last 6 months. I can tell you that after I connect the dots, and I know today that Nurit and Chen that sat next to me in the car, all these 2 hours, they saw terrorist bodies all the felt really ashamed. He thought that was maybe I could act differently, make someone things differently. But now I know that I'm really lucky to not seeing what happened there that day. I have the things that I saw, the things that I feel in my body, but not what a lot of people in Israel now can't deal with. A lot of people have the ability and strength standing in front of people or talking about what with their family and friends. Um, and this is the story maybe about what's going on in Israel right now. There are people really struggling with what they've been through on October 7 and really hope that they will have us. Also mental health, and not only physical health. And I understood that in order to truly look forward, I need to look back. And I'm very lucky given that I'm here every day. And the last thing that I want to talk about is my LL. Yeah, all my life I had a dream, like from my 20s, to dye my hair in purple. And I have a lot of excuses why not to do that. And last December, after I realized that really on October, I did a gomel. And before Hanukkah, I gathered all my friends and say thank you about the miracle that I had. I got dyed my hair in purple. It's become blue and then light blue, and then again I got dyed to purple because I really understood that I really love that I'm here and every day as best as I every so thank you so much for being No, we're not leaving.
So I now know that I offered to collect the questions because I'm not one who usually is without anything to say, but I feel like, what can I say? You know, what can I do have a question for me, but I really thank you both for telling us your stories. I mean, here for everything.
Thank you.
So there's one just practical question. How do you think Hamas blocked internet signals like we know as 9/11? Yeah, and could it happen?
One really know, we don't get absolute answer about that. A lot of people think it's a cyber attack from Iran, and a lot of people think that the antennas, the signal and internet get hurt in some explosion. They do. Did. Probably going to be some investigation about all October 7, and we get more clearly answer about this and about a lot of things that don't really clear and for us. Okay?
So now get to the more difficult question.
We can answer everything.
Really, if someone wants
This week.
really feel comfortable to ask anything. It's okay.
Okay.
We Israeli people, we solve everything.
And we can say when we
you'll
don't
say,
want to
that's
answer.
when you can say no. Okay. So, one of the people wrote here that have gone through and still are going through mental anguish, how are taken care of. And you started to talk about how you took care of you, but do you want to say more about what is going on in Israel to take care of that trauma, that ongoing trauma?
Yeah, I can share about what's going in the Nordic community and maybe I'm sure kibbutz. But first, Israel as a country, I'm not critical about that, but we're not really able to, as a country, with our homes built. With our institution now in Israel, deal with the amount of people that are traumatized. What is amazing that ever since October 7, there are so much people that volunteer to do so. So, like I told you that I got together with the Nova, what really happened that the volunteers and places open to us, place with food, therapies that we can arrive there, be together, and these places all until now, and there is other volunteers that give therapy to all the people that been in the Nova Festival, and also with the nations from all over the world. So it's really amazing what happened, how the Israeli community and the Jewish community got together to help Israel deal with trauma. And now I believe that during the war, so to deal with how we can rebuild the communities that the Gaza envelope yeah. So our lucky is that we have great people to lean on in this one. And with therapy, yeah, and therapy, yeah.
We have a lot of support, really, from the government, volunteers, from groups and organizations that will take care of this part, and about the souls of the children, of the things. But in the end, a teenager that saw her father murdered in her home, and families that lose teenager when they just go in the morning to fishing. No therapist and no study therapist is going to make them out all again. So I want to speak about myself, and I don't represent anyone but myself. I want to say that the fact I think no one can really make my heart again after the October 7th. The only things that make me feel more comfortable to live in my country and to live in my kibbutz and rebuild the community that broke in this day. It's to know it's not it's that all the victims, all the soldiers that still fighting in Gaza. I finished with that, but this is two picture from Zikim. This picture from 1949 and this picture from 2023. This neighborhood that my grandparents built when they came on the kibbutz. The exact place in Zikim where parents built them home in Zikim. And if I want to be the next picture, I need to know Israel, government, society, the Jewish community do all she can, all they can to make sure that the reality in Israel is going to be changed. And it's not just around the army mistakes in the October 7th. And it's not just about the Arab-Israeli conflict. It's more than that. And if I see some going change in this political, I feel more. That's all. I hope I can successfully explain this to my broken.
I said your English is fine too. So this question may be follow the previous one. There's some group here who's going to spend 3 months in Israel and would like to know what should do to volunteer, what would be useful to do.
I always said we don't need, we want. We want good people that love Israel, support it, feel in the group of the good value, the good, the right in the history, come to Israel and see. Actually, I think the people that live in the diaspora must to come to Israel and see why for right so much, because it's my first time that I meeting with a small community around the world, and you saw איך אני אומר את שמות? איך? Move? So move. Really, and I saw sacrifice to live here. Especially right now with all the anti-Semitism in the campus, in the university, the street. You need to come Israel to see what you're fighting for. You need to see the good thing, the community. You do the right thing. You are the right things in history of Israel, of the Jewish people. And you must see that, because this is the Zionist dream in Israel. What happened in Israel? What happened in kibbutzim on the border of Israel? So you must come. For you and for us.
I met to that. I to that and tell you about my feeling about what he done. Talk about my dream now. For me, after October 7, was the first time that I experienced anti-Semitism. I lived as a Jew in Israel all my life, free Jew, and only at the age of 34, first time that I experienced anti-Semitism while the world denied what happened to my family, to my friends, to me on the day. And I really remember the talks with my friends that week when we talked about it, that it's crazy, and first time really felt on us. And the last week, I really understand how much you are full of faith and courage for live with this anti-Semitism in your life here. I'm sure that there are times that are this more intense and less intense, and school or university and probably, but you're full of faith. And the second thing that I understood this week is that because of anti-Semitism, Israel could exist without diaspora. because the Jewish community all over the world, they are the one spread the good values that talks about. They are the ones spread how much is important that Israel will be for the Jewish people, and how much is important for the Middle East and for the world. So understood how much we are depending on each other, and my lesson from this week. And thank you so much for that.
You have an amazing ability, both of you, to tell terrible stories and make us feel good about ourselves. Thank you. Very, very generous of you. And I think many in this room would say that it's only October 7th that they experienced anti-Semitism. Okay, so we weren't going to have questions from the room, but Idan and Elad have said, okay, but I'm going to shut you if I think your question is rude or hostile, not okay. So I don't feel comfortable. Okay, so Ruth.
Excuse me, don't get up. I don't have a question. I just want to say that I just had the most thrilling moment because this young man is the best friend of my daughter-in-law's nephew, who lives in Zakim. It's such a small world, the Jewish world, so small. I have been to Zakim, and now I have met Gabriel's best friend, and I am just thrilled.
Thank you.
So I'm interested in the effect on you of telling this over and over again. How does that affect your emotional response?
For me, I feel it makes me more healthier.
More healthier?
Yes. This is my therapy. It's helped me to understand better my story, the details in the story, and it's make my English better.
Actually, for me, it's the first time talk about the story because it not close to me, like communities. But I told the story almost 20 times after I realized what happened, and then every time it gets more details. This is how I get more details. My therapist, she's something like 80 years old. She's one of the first therapists that deal with post-trauma after the first Intifada. And she told me when everything October 7th, she told me no matter what, you should talk and rebuild your story over and over again, and send to me all the media and news what happened on the Nova Festival. And I do with a lot of support. And it's really the best way to understand the feeling that I had that day, and to connect with pictures and real events that happened that day. Because I remember that I was scared and feeling scary after the traffic jam. That I really understand why until I understand the police and the army, and I remember the picture and the after I froze and I understood my friend saved me and Audi and all these things. Both of us, everyone, we have feeling it in our body. and now I have to combine it. So this is how I deal with my trauma, and also talking with you the last week gave us a lot of love and compassion, really in a way that we really imagine. It's powerful.
What do you think is the best way forward?
Oh, best way forward.
I just say again, I don't present all Israeli people, I present myself. I think the best way to move on, understand, not war between Israel and Palestine, it's not war between Israel and Iran, and it's not just the Middle East war. This is about values, about good and bad values. And if someone thinks the war that happened in Israel, it's only a problem, just the Jewish community problem, is make a huge mistake. Okay? איך אמרנו השוואה? Compare. That's it. I never do a comparison between the Holocaust and the October 7, and a lot of people in Israel do that, and I understand that, but I do that. But it's like someone was said in 1945. What's happened in Europe or in Poland? This is Europe problem, or this is the Jewish problem. It's not about us. This is exactly the same thing. The whole picture that shows after the October 7, and the quickly that the fact that all the news being returned on Israel after those pictures, it's huge problem for the world, and also for us. Okay, because all the people I meet in Canada ask about the army, about the mistakes of ideas, about the intelligence, about the soldier on the border. It's not about that. It's also about that. But if we always going back, okay, around this, around the military problem, we never move forward, okay? Because it's sometimes it's a surprise on Egypt and Jordan and in 1973. It's happened again, 50 years in 2023. And they will surprise us again if we don't change our language. The most difficult part for me, it's in Israel, no say the word peace. This is the other language I want to study. I don't think I have peace in my life. Also not my children. The October 7 makes that very far from us. But if we start to speak this word now, in more maybe 100 years, it's going to be happening.
U.S. told Netanyahu this was going to happen. He said, never.
We didn't hear.
U.S. told Netanyahu this was going to happen, and he said no.
I fear that's a statement.
Yes.
It's a comment. I think that the future of the Jewish world and of Israel is strong when I see people like yourself, future leaders, moving this forward, and for what you've done. I know that here in Alina, in Gavati, and Senior. And this is the young leadership that we need to rise up and find solutions to the problems. And thank you for coming to share your words with us.
Sorry.
Build off that. How can we in Canada and we in the diaspora more broadly stand up? What's the best for us to show support for Israel moving forward?
First of all, I want to sign like you. You already have your hug and your support, feeling well in Israel. And I always say the only soldier in Gaza that were his family behind the fence, and he knows why he fighting for. Also, the society in Israel knows why she fighting for. Also about the good values I talking. Also about we have a big community, amazing people that need Israel to stand up against this and so you do a lot. And thank you for your bravery to live here and supporting Israel and standing up against anti-Semitism. Thank you very much.
Because there's so many people in Israel that were affected and traumatized by this. You talk about all these wonderful therapists, but where do they all come from? Do they all just spring out of the ground?
No, there are therapists in Israel, a lot.
We know from the media that after October the 7th, there was tremendous amount of support for the people and the children who were actually freed, the hostages, that they had, they went to hospitals and each person got 3 different kinds of doctors and therapists. But the rest of the people, like you've been lucky getting a therapist. But all the survivors from music festival and from the Houston that were attacked, where do they get all these hundreds and hundreds of therapists?
Volunteers, the new organization, the days off after October 7th.
Then going to the educated center, to the hotels, to the areas, really. In this part of the world, let's do very good job.
People of Israel.
Yes,
very good.
Yeah. We have a lot of social worker. Every person is Israel in Israel. Really. They don't work in it.
One more question, and I think we should let them rest.
So I understand that when Dijan was asking you about what we could do moving forward, I think the job is a little different, what we have to do outside Israel and what you guys have to do inside. So I'm wondering, what do you think the solution is, or is it that you have to do with the Palestinian Gaza and West Bank to move forward in a peaceful, like, you know about peace, but like what do you do to get there? What do you think?
So just a little question.
I don't know what we need exactly to do, but I know that the fact that we surprised in the third time in the last 100 years as a Jewish community and twice as a Jewish country in horrible attack. Okay, so to build most strong army all over the world, and we have most strong army all over the world. Make sure. Okay, although it happened when we saw that yesterday,
Yes.
We must to start to speak in alternative language about the conflict in the Middle East. For example, one example, and it's no, that's on the subject. Yesterday when Iran attacked us, everyone speak about completely victory. And I think our army showed a phenomenal ability on the defense, on our air force. But it's not victory to live like that. 24 hours, people in Israel was hysterical. Everyone eating, buy all the supermarkets, tuna, water, crazy, really, total chaos. This is victory. This is Zion's dream. And to make sure it's not happening, we can't eliminate Iran. We can't eliminate Gaza. We need to do deal and to speak each other, and search and found all the alliance מתונים, alliance בריתות, איך אני אומר מתונים? alliance modern to talk with not people in the Arab world to talk with them. The crazy, the extreme fundamentalist groups is not a major. I'm sure. I know that. Okay? And we can do a different reality in Israel and all over the Middle East, I'm sure.
So I want to thank you. It's not about greed. I think everybody in this room would argue with you and say that both of you have displayed incredible bravery, but maybe that's the bravery of everyone in Israel. I don't.
Yes.
Or maybe that's what happens when you're faced with existential crisis. You become brave. But thank you so much for coming. I think there are a number of people in this room who were afraid to come and hear the stories, and they came anyhow. And for me anyhow, you've given us hope rather than like I'm going to home and cry. No, thanks so much. And there'll be a little bit of opportunity to go around and talk.
Yes.